Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of G's Top 7. And before we get into my top 7, just wanted to give you guys an announcement about my fantasy football guide. Finally have a release date for you. Friday, August 18th, look for the release of my fantasy football guide on my site, gknowsfootball.com. Also, subscribe here at my YouTube channel and also check out my site for updates and a countdown to the release date of my fantasy football guide. So in honor of that, today's top 7 will definitely be another fantasy edition, and we'll be looking at the top 7 fantasy rookies to draft in your fantasy teams this season. Coming in at number 1, I have Dalvin Cook, who's a running back out of Florida State, and he was drafted in the first round by the Minnesota Vikings. I think that he will have an immediate impact on the field for the Minnesota Vikings. This season, they lost their Adrian Peterson, who was their top running back for many years, and they definitely need someone to come in and fill that void. I think Dalvin Cook is a solid running back, and he is definitely ready to do that for Minnesota. Coming in at number 2, I have Corey Davis, who's a wide receiver out of Western Michigan. He was drafted by the Tennessee Titans. This season, Marcus Mariota is coming back healthy, and I think that Corey Davis will be one of his top targets as a wide receiver this season. I think that he will have an immediate impact on the field, and I definitely think he'll do great things this season for the Tennessee Titans. Coming in at number 3, I have Leonard Fournette, who's a running back out of LSU, and he was drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't think that Leonard Fournette's going to have much competition battling out TJ Yeldon or Denard Robinson for playing time as a running back this season for Jacksonville. This man put the whole offense at LSU on his back last season. I think he'll do great things at Jacksonville as well. Coming in at number 4, I have John Ross, wide receiver out of Washington, who was drafted by none other but those Cincinnati Bengals. John Ross is an explosive player, to say the least. He set a 40 record this season at the Combine, and I think he's just going to be an explosive player for us this season for the Cincinnati Bengals. Definitely a great pickup at wide receiver for your fantasy teams. Coming in at number 5, I have David Njoku, who's a tight end out of Miami, who was drafted in the first round by the Cleveland Browns. We all know the Browns need help pretty much everywhere on the field, so I think that David won't have any problem showing an immediate impact on the field for their offense this season. Coming in at number 6, I have Joe Mixon, who's a running back out of Oklahoma, who was drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals. Another explosive player and a great pickup for the Bengals. I expect to see Joe Mixon making moves on the offense, maybe even game 1, if not starting game 4 in the season. I think that he will come in great as a running back, but also as a receiver as well. I kind of see him being our own Le'Veon Bell here in Cincinnati. And rounding out the top 7, I have Christian McCaffrey, who's a running back out of Stanford, and he was drafted by the Carolina Panthers. I'm not sure if I see Christian being like that number 1 running back and being their go-to running back for the whole season, but I definitely see him being used as not only a running back, but as a receiver in a receiving role, and also doing kickback and punt returns as well. So definitely think that Christian McCaffrey would be a great flex pickup in your fantasy teams this year. So those are my top 7 fantasy rookies for this season. I'll see you guys for the next edition of G's Top 7. Bye.